invite the architect Hiloni on the stage.
Parametric design, but any kind of unconventional design. The designing part is one part of it, but how do you pitch these sort of designs to the client? So I thought this would be an interesting conversation to have based on what we have done and what kind of projects we have done. Yeah, so to start with, what is parametric design and how do you explain it to your clients? So I think a good example would be just imagine a Lego block and then imagine that you can do multiple iterations with a Lego block and create multiple iterations of the same Lego pieces, but you don't have to do much. So you don't have to create a new piece entirely every time. This is one way to kind of pitch it to your clients. And what is the elevator pitch? The optimization, sustainability, cost effect, context specific, and design composition. Along with any sort of design, I think these are very important things that parametric design also needs to have, or you also need to convince your client that these things are things that you will be able to achieve with this to make them also believe that this is a better solution for them. So, and it's also the benefit of mathy magic, you know. I mean, everybody is fascinated by maths and physics, and how do you kind of integrate that into architecture and show your clients that this is something that you can come up with. So starting with, I wanted to put the three first projects that we have done to show you that you can also do something like this. When you are starting your practice, this is something that you can also incorporate. So starting with the first project, this is a very small extension space that we designed in a residence to kind of show the idea of two opposing design ideas kind of integrating with each other. But how did we pitch it to the client? One, it has climate optimization, it has solar optimization, sun shading optimization. It's a very small space, it's 100 square feet, but there is so many uses that the client can have in it. There is so much versatility of the space. It was designed for a young couple and then kind of changed into something that became the nursery. It is designed from recycled MS pieces, so how do you make it cost effective? The solar shading is in a way that there is never sun glare throughout the day in the whole space, and it's always shaded. So that's basically kind of how do you kind of put these things across to the client, and not just visual optimization or visual aesthetics of it. Second project that we had done was this outhouse space, and the biggest hero element of the space was this cabinet. Now, it was not only aesthetically pleasing, that is one part of it, but it also encompasses the HVAC, electrical, pantry, storage, kitchen, every single possible digital unit, AV unit, every single thing that the client would possibly need in an entertainment space, which opens up their whole entire space for other uses. Like they can have they had a splash pool, they wanted to have a jacuzzi, there was toilets, and so entirely open space with just one intervention. And how do you kind of put that in? So how do the curves help to kind of get this storage in? Debunking myths. I think there is like a big perception that parametric design is all about futuristic design or all about curves, or I'm sure you guys must have faced, if you've tried to kind of even pitch it to your professors, you must have faced this idea that why do you need these curves? Why do you want these kind of fancy forms, or why do you want to do this? Why is it better than your conventional design? And basically these are all these ideas. And coming to projects that we recently have done, also the evolution of what currently needs to be done. How do we integrate sustainability? How do we integrate local labor? How do we integrate simple materials into doing things that complex materials would do, but in a much more grassroots way? So this is a project that we've recently done, which is a play area, but we've made this with mostly recycled material, where the central space which is there is made entirely with cement pipes. So it's all just cement pipes, but it's designed in a pathfinding way, and it's designed mathematically in a way that there are slides for the children, there are climbing spaces for the children, and also in a way that it's completely safe. Even the MS structure which is done, it is done to kind of ignite this surprise in kids. It's done to make it in a way that it's a space which is completely different from any kind of play space that the kids would have used. And the slides and the climbing spaces are all designed in a way that it's also safe along with being sustainable and parametric. So creating a novel solution which is not only aesthetically different but also serves a much larger issues. I think that is the core part of how do you pitch these sort of projects. Not just the idea that it looks good. I mean, definitely that's a plus, but how do you pitch this as a young architect, or how do you pitch this as a student? And according to us, these are kind of all the considerations that you need to put in. One more project that we've done is, so again, an understanding that there could be certain solutions in spaces, not even if it's not entirely parametric, where this space has this kind of front facade where, according to the sunlight and solar analysis, we made it in a way that the dining space always has light, where a dining space is a space where all Indian families kind of conglomerate with each other and kind of have this. It's the most used space in any house, and we made sure that that is the hero element, along with the rooms getting complete views. Even though this space was in between the city, we wanted to make sure that they get uninterrupted views along with privacy and complete shading throughout the day. Plus technological interventions, like these windows, they were doubly faceted. So we designed these simple hinges. Instead of trying to find a very expensive solution for them, we designed this very simple hinges that could help them kind of open the windows much more easily. This is an unbuilt project that we are currently in the process of finishing, but I wanted to end with this because this project is probably a culmination of all the tech that we have possibly used till now, where in the brick facade we've done multiple iterations of the scaffolding and found out a solution to. I'm sure you guys have all heard about Adapa, but we have kind of made a mechanical solution of an Adapa so that we can keep on reusing the same scaffolding throughout the whole space instead of creating new scaffolding, because none of these curves are repeated. They're all atypical, and they're all designed in a way that there are views, because it's a healthcare building. There are continuous views outside, even though again it's in the middle, in the heart of the city, and also there is optimization of space continuously all throughout the space, because it was a small space, and how do you kind of encroach into the space without disrupting the bylaws? So yeah, I mean, that is one aspect of it. The other aspects is how do you kind of do user path analysis, because it's a healthcare space. We wanted to create a flow inside the space which would make sure that the user is always kind of led through the space in a more cohesive way. So user path analysis, and then solar analysis to also aid the design of the curves and to aid the design of the window. And as you see, like we've done multiple iterations of the scaffolding as well. Again, even for the window lintels, none of the lintels are again repetitive. They're all atypical, wherein there is a differentiation in the shading pattern of each of the lintel, and there is different extrusions throughout all of these lintels. So a conglomeration of all the tech that we have done in multiple projects till now, all put together, along with local materials, along with sustainable solutions. And I guess that is how you kind of put these sort of projects forward to clients. And even though it's healthcare, where the client is very, very apprehensive of doing something like this, maybe this is kind of examples how you can pitch these sort of projects. And I just want to show you this video.
To everyone who's ever told anyone with a dream they can't, this video's for you. Keep your head down, follow the rules, do as you're told, play it safe. Wait your turn, ask permission, learn to compromise. This is terrible advice.
Thank you.